Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Monday, the 10th of January 2022. Do you feel like the working week? This is the first proper working week of the year. If you're a working person, maybe it feels like that. It's kind of back to normal type living after the long Christmas and New Year holidays, if you had any. Although still with working with the pandemic, things are not quite back to normal, are they? Many people still working from home, I guess. Today's Guardian Sudoku puzzle is what I call a beginner level puzzle. That means if you've never played Sudoku before, have no fear. Today's game, you will understand it. I will explain it very carefully and clearly, and you'll be able to play Sudoku from here on in. Now you need to practice if you want to get up to an expert level, but certainly the basics you can learn today. I'll explain the game in a moment, just mentioning something in the news, because this is a channel that talks about things not connected with Sudoku. As something light-hearted today, I thought it was light-hearted. Some incredible pictures. I recommend you check out the video on the Guardian webpage of some ostriches that escaped. Now, the city in China, I can't pronounce Zhongshuo. I really don't know how to pronounce this. Anyway, my apologies for not knowing how to pronounce anglicized Chinese words. But anyway, however you pronounce it, it's a city, and ostriches were on the loose. They escaped from a farm because somebody forgot to shut the gate. And off they went running down the road, and they look hilarious. It looks very funny, and I don't know if any of them. I think they all got caught actually. It'd be nice for one of them to get away. You know, you feel like you might be on their side. They escaped from a farm. If you're a vegetarian, you might want to close your ears right now. Put your fingers in your ears for the next bit. But I want to say that if you have never tried ostrich meat, it's really delicious. I was a vegetarian for several years, 3 years continuously when I lived in the UK before I came to live in Thailand. But I found it impossible to be vegetarian in Thailand. It's just too difficult, despite it being a Buddhist country. I used to be able to get ostrich meat in the local supermarket. Haven't been able to get it for ages and ages. I'm not sure what happened. But if you haven't tried it, it's kind of like a cross between steak and chicken. And it's easy to cook. You can marinate it for a while and then fry it like a steak, and it's just gorgeous. Really, one of my favorite meats to eat if I'm eating meat. I have basically a vegetable-based diet. I don't eat too much meat. I don't eat steaks very often or anything like that. But from time to time, it's quite a delicacy. And so there you go. Okay, vegetarians, fingers out of ears. Let's get back to, how would you know that? Let's get back to our Sudoku game. Now, beginners, welcome. How do we play this game known as Sudoku? I think I've seen it translated in various ways, empty words or something like that. I've seen it translated as. The meaning is not important of Sudoku, just the fact that it's a game of logic, not a game of mathematics. So don't worry about if you don't like maths, don't worry, you don't need any. You just need to be able to count from 1 to 9. Now, you will see squares across in a row. And if you count, you'll find there are 9. And you'll see squares in columns, and there are 9. And then there are these outlined blocks. You can see there are 9 of these blocks, and each contains 9 squares, and that's why Sudoku is often referred to as game of nines. So how do we play the game? Or what's the object? Well, the object is to fit numbers 1 to 9 in each row, column, and block. Now, since there are 9, each number must fit uniquely, of course. So, 1 to 9 in this row, 1 to 9 in this column, and 1 to 9 in this block. Okay, got it. So how do we go about finding the answers? That's what you really want to know, isn't it? Now you've learnt the basic rules, or I'm not sure whether this should be rules or rule, because there only appears to be one. all we have to do is to say, for example, this 6, which exists in this column already, cannot appear in this square here, or any other square in this column, but I particularly want to focus on this square here. This 6 in this column means that no other square in this column can contain a 6. So in particular, no 6 can appear here. So both of these 6's are banned because of this 6 and this 6, right? Okay, now you can also see there's another 6 in this row here. There's a lot of numbers already in this row, but 6 cannot appear in this square because it's banned by this square here. It's this 6 here, sorry. And so there is only one available square. So we know that our 6 goes there. Now if you have found just one square where a number can go, noisy out there, then you can place it immediately. You don't have to say, well, could it be anything else? No, 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 no. There is only one solution to this game. And so once you see you are limited to only one square within one of these blocks, then you must place it immediately. Say must. Yeah, must. I absolutely command you to place that digit. 2 blocks down here, 2 blocks up here, 2 blocks across here. I say blocks meaning can't reappear, right? No 2 in this column, no 2 in this column, no 2 across here. And that leaves just that square there. So we know that 2 must fit there. Got the hang of it already? Good. Right, so all we need to do now is look around the board, go around and around looking for different things. This 4 stops this square from being a 4, and this 4 blocks this square from being a 4. So we now know that 4 has to appear in that square there. This 8 means that an 8 cannot appear here, and we don't yet have an 8 in this block. Remember, we need all the digits from 1 to 9. We don't. The 2 missing numbers are 8 and 9. We don't have an 8. 8 stops this square from being an 8, so 8 goes here. And the last number is 9, and you can count through if you're not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 will fit there. That's our last number there. Now another thing we can do is we can say, look at this row across here. Now remember, we need all digits from 1 to 9. And let's see which numbers we have and which we don't have. Look, we've got nearly everything. We've only got 2 empty squares, so we're just missing 2 numbers. Do we have a 1 anywhere? No, we don't. There's no 1 in this row. 2, 3. Do we have a 4? No, we don't. So 1 and 4 must be the missing numbers. And if you want to prove it, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we are all there. So we know that 1 and 4 must appear in this square and this square. 1 and 4. Now have a look around. Have a quick look. Have you seen it? Yes, you have. Of course you have. You've seen this 4 stopping this square here from being a 4, and so you know that the 4 has to fit there, and logically the 1 has to fit there, right? Great. Now we can see 4 blocking down here, 4 blocking up here, so out, and then the 4 blocking across there. So we know that 4 must be in the only available square. Sometimes we refer to these as cells. You can call them cells as well as squares. That's a Sudoku specific term. But squares is fine. You can call them squares. Squares sounds like a word from the 60s, doesn't it? Like your hip daddy. Oh man, that's square. Now 4 blocks across here, 4 blocks across here, and 4 blocks up here, so we can fit a 4 into this square here. And now a Sudoku tip, not a rule, but a tip that you can learn. You will notice there is a 4 in this block, this block, this block, here, 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 and here, but not here. So we have 8-digit 4s already placed, and if you find yourself in this situation where you have placed a digit in every block except one, wherever that block exists, you are guaranteed to have found the last digit. You always have enough intersecting numbers to find the last digit. So I know for sure that we can find a 4 here. So let's examine the block. Okay, we have 4 blocking across here, 4 blocking across here, and 4 down here. We can indeed place our 4 right there. Okay. Now, again, this column here, we can find which numbers are missing. And certainly we'll find a 3 is one of the missing digits. Okay, now you will notice that we have a 3 in this block already. And that means the 3 blocks both this square and this square, because remember, a number can appear only once in its block. So no 3 is allowed here or here. So in this column, if it can't go here and can't go here, then we know that the 3 has to go there. In fact, the missing two numbers down here now are 1 and 7, but we don't have any idea of which is which just yet. So we have to leave it. We have to say, okay, we don't know. It's 1 and 7 in these two squares, but we will come back and look for the which is which later, because right now we can't prove which is the 1 and which is the 7. That's okay. We don't need to right now. We'll come back and look at it after a while. Right, so where else should we look then? One of the things about Sudoku is trying to find, looking all around the grid. Don't just get caught up in one particular region. You need to look everywhere. 8 blocks up here, 8 blocks down here, and 8 blocks across here. Blocked, 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 if you can see it like that. So an 8 must fit into that square there. Right, where should we look now? And by the way, if you are new to the channel, you should know that I never play these games at all before starting the video. So I'm playing them absolutely fresh, whatever the level, from beginner level to expert level, without any rehearsal or any idea of how the game is actually going to work out. So, right at the beginning, I have no idea. Also, 8 blocks up here, 8 blocks up here. That leaves us an 8 for this square here. Eight blocks across this row, 8 blocks across this row, and 8 blocks down here, so we can fit an 8 into this square here. And now we can say this 8 blocks right up this column. So it's always useful to use the digits that you've just written in. I've just written in a couple of 8s, and they are often very useful. 8 blocks up here, 8 blocks across here, 8 blocks across here, so 8 will fit into that square there. 3 blocks up this column and 3 blocks across this top row here, so no 3 is allowed here, no 3 is allowed in these two squares, so a 3 must fit there. And now we can say this 3 that we just wrote in, we block across this row, and a 3 blocking up here, so we can place our 3 there. This 1 blocks both of these two squares here, so we know a 1 has to fit in that square there. Now the missing numbers down here in this column are 1 and 3. You can count through if you don't believe me, but I promise you they are. But we can't tell. We don't have any intersecting 1s or 3s that line up with those, so we can't tell. So we just have to keep it on hold for now. Don't worry about it. Now this 5 blocks this square, and the two missing numbers here are 5 and 9. Should we just check? 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have a 5. 6, 7, 8. We don't have a 9, so 5 and 9 are missing. Now the 5 stops this square from being a 5, so our 5 must be placed there, and our 9, which is the last number we need for that block, goes there. Five and 9 are the last numbers that we need down here. But and so we've got a blocking 9 here. Okay, this 9 stops this square from being a 9. So 9 goes there, and the 5 is the last number we need for that column. Like I say though, it's important to keep moving your eyes around the grid. Don't always get stuck in the same place. That's a rookie mistake, if you like. But a trap that we can all fall into, I think. Certainly it's something I do by even though I don't always practice what I preach. I sometimes get stuck in the same place for a while. Where are we now? Okay, so at this stage you can either look at the rows that already have a lot of digits, or maybe the block that already has a lot of digits, that same, the same kind of thing. So let's look at this row and see what's missing along here. The missing numbers are 1, we don't have. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have 6, 7, 8, and we don't have 9. So 1, 6, and 9 have to be somewhere in these 3 squares, because that's what we need to complete the block. 1, 6, and 9, right? Now, this 9 means that this square here cannot be a 9. And this 9 means that that square there cannot be a 9. So no 9 allowed here or here. So 9 must be in that square there. Now, if you remember, the missing numbers now will be 1 and 6. And I think you're ahead of me, aren't you? Because you've spotted this 1, haven't you? You've seen this 1 already, meaning that can't be 1. So 1 is there, and 6 is the last number that we need to complete this row. Okay, the missing numbers up here I think are 6 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no 6, no 7, 8, 9. And have a look around. Well, you can see 2 intersecting 6s. This time we've got a 6 blocking here and a 6 blocking here. They both block the same square. Doesn't matter which way you find it, but for sure 6 must be in this square and the 7 must be in that square. Now, along the top row we don't yet have a 1, but I can see this 1 here, meaning that can't be a 1 there. So 1 goes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there a 5 anywhere? No, there isn't. So the 5 must be in that square there. Now let's take that 5 that we just wrote in, and let's bring it down this column, blocking all the way down here. And this 5 here blocks down here, so blocked and blocked, and then there's a 5 blocking across here. So we know that 5 goes there. And again, let's take this number that we just filled in because it's useful. 5 across here, 5 across here, puts a 5 into that square, and now 5 blocking up here and across here. You see how the numbers that we write in are often the most useful ones. Depends on who creates the Sudoku puzzle, but quite often the creator of the puzzle forces you along a path in that way. This block doesn't yet have a 1, but there is a 1 stopping both of these 2 squares from becoming a 1, and so the 1 will go here. Now in this column there is only one empty square, one empty cell, and so we know that we can find it, and that's really the next place to look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This has got to be our 9, hasn't it? Right, where are we now? Can we find the missing numbers here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no 7. We've got 8. There's no 9. So the missing numbers here are 7 and 9. Do we know any 7s or 9s yet? Well, no, we don't. But I'm going to show you another tip. If you have 2 squares that are empty like this, and you look at this row here, which also has 2 empty squares, only 2 empty squares in this column and only 2 empty squares in this row, the 2 numbers that you need here will be the same in this square, and this square. They must be the same. Okay, so the missing number is 7 and 9, we decided. 7 and 9 will be here. 7 or 9, I should say, more accurately. 7 or 9 will be here. And this because it's the other square in this row, will also be 7 or 9. Now that is helpful because we can see adjacent to this box, this square here, we have a 9 already, so that means that can't be 9. So if this can't be 9, the 9 must be here, and the 7 must be here, and the 7 must be there. Okay. Now we have 1 blocking down this column here, 1 blocking down here, so we can place a 1 there, and we'll count through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there a 6 anywhere in this column? I don't think so. 7, 8, 9. No. So that's got to be a 6 then. So we can place that now. Let's see what's missing. So missing numbers up here are, we've got 1, we don't have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 and 7 are missing from here. Now we have to look down here to see if we have any intersecting 2s or 7s, and the answer is no, we don't. So we don't know which is which just yet. Let's look here. 1, 2. We don't have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 and 9 are missing from here. So we have to look up and down looking for 3s and 9s, and yes, in fact we found ourselves an intersecting 9. So we know that the 9 must be in that square, and the 3 must be in that square there. Okay. Right, what did I say was missing up here? Have you forgotten? I've forgotten. This is why I'm not good at this game. 2 and 7 are missing here. So what I just said to you still applies. So this is 2 and 7, this is 2 and 7. Now we only have one other empty square, so we know that this will have to be 2 or 7 as well. Now this time it's not helpful because we don't have any 2s or 7s intersecting, so we can't prove it. But that's the thing to watch out for when you're playing this game. It's quite a good tip, and it will often help you out. Now 6 blocks across here, 6 blocks across here, so 6 has to fit into that square there. Missing numbers in this row: 1, there's no 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's no 7, 8, 9. So 2 and 7 are the missing numbers in this row. I'll give you a second to work out which is 2 and which is 7. Have you got it? Great. 2 blocks this square, doesn't it? Because 2 is already in this block here. So the 2 has to be here, and the 7 has to be here. Now we just need one more number to finish this block, and it's a 1. Now this one will stop that square from being a 1, and this one stops that square from being a 1. So 1 is there. Now we only have one digit to complete this column. 1, 2, there's no 3. In fact, a long time ago I told you 1 and 3 were in these 2 squares, so in fact I've remembered now that it's a 3. One number to finish this row: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no 7. We've got 8, 9, so 7 must fit here. Now if you go back up here and remember, the 2 and the 7 were missing from here, so 7 means that can't be 7. 7 goes there, and 2 is here. Now we can swing back down again, and now the 2 stops this from being a 2, and it means the 2 is in here, and the last number that we need is a 3 to finish this block or this column, whichever way you look at it. And now we only need one number to finish either this block, this row, or this column, and it doesn't matter which way you look at it, it'll be the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 should be a 7, 8, 9, right? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's our puzzle complete. It's our beginner level game. Now if you have enjoyed playing today's Sudoku, you must try it yourself. You can't just watch the videos, you have to actively give it a go. So go off to the link if you haven't played the game already, and check out the list of easy and beginner level games on this channel. There are lots for you to practice from. Guardian every Monday, and then, you know, but don't forget to challenge yourself and move up a little bit as well to the medium levels. I'm sure you can do it once you've played a couple of easy level games. That's it. Thank you. I hope you're going to have a great week, and see you again later. Bye bye.